Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Hey, listen, I'm gonna give us like 3 minutes of my man Waters, and then we're gonna go to the short press conference by Caroline Leavitt. So this is just an update on what's going on with the war, and I just can't see whether you're for this war or against it. I can't see, and I don't understand, and I can't get with anybody who's against America while we're at war.
Operation Epic Fury is penetrating deep inside of Iran, as tonight we're being told it'll be the biggest bombing campaign of the war. U.S. forces are exterminating what's left of the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. The crippling air campaigns left them bruised, battered, and confused because U.S. growlers are in the air, jamming Iranian electronics. So the regime is flying blind. Their drones are falling out of the sky like dead pheasants. The growlers are scrambling their signals, or they're being shattered by U.S. precision rockets. American warships haven't even used our lasers. We're saving them for the next phase. That's on top of the Air Force sinking Tehran's drone carrier last night in the Gulf. Their Navy has nearly nothing left in the water. U.S. Central Command confirming that we've sunk over 43 Iranian vessels. Here's one of their crown jewels. Watch.
This commissioning sends a clear message of military self-sufficiency.
But probably the most important capability of Shahid Bagheri is that it can remain at sea for an extended period of up to a year, a feature that makes it a game changer for the Iranian armed forces.
Now it's at the bottom of the Gulf. We've hit more than 3,000 targets, and the operation isn't even a week old. And you know what else just got hit? The Ayatollah's bunker. The IDF struck it this morning with 50 fighter jets. It's also home to Iran's primary command and control center. Well, it was. Most of the regime couldn't be there to see it. We killed 50 of their leaders in the first 50 seconds of the war. Just incredible stuff. And now Iran's underground missile cities are being turned into ash. 13 of them have been blown to rubble. Former CENTCOM commander and CIA director, General Petraeus, says we are in total control.
We want to bring in the big ones, the B-52s, the B-1 bombers, and they are flying now almost at will. I would argue that we have actually achieved air supremacy, not just air superiority.
As Secretary of War Pete Hegseth said, we're just getting started. The USS Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, just arrived. It was last seen sailing through the Suez Canal and should be in the theater momentarily. Right behind it, the USS Bainbridge, a guided missile destroyer with state-of-the-art Tomahawk capabilities, and the USS George H.W. Bush should be next to arrive. That put 3 carriers in the neighborhood. And just for a little extra oomph, Ukraine's got our back. They've pioneered the most advanced anti-drone tech, dealing with the swarms of Iranian drones since Putin invaded. Zelensky says he wants to help. Maybe offer us these wild hornets. The Ukrainians built these beautiful, low-cost, fast, agile kamikaze drones. These Iranian drones can be a real nuisance. They're like mosquitoes. But we've been reverse engineering them and shooting them right back at them. It's saving you money.
You remember you used to always hear, we're shooting down a $50,000 drone with a $2 million missile. These days, we're spending a lot of time shooting down.
What they're going to talk about right now is a mid-course correction. Yeah, because there's an admission that we were spending too much money to shoot down these low-cost weapons, and now we had to fix that. And in a matter of a week, they got that solved.
$100,000 drones with $10,000 weapons from ours. So that's one aspect of it. Lucas, indispensable, as many of you know, and if you don't know, this was an original Iranian drone design. We captured it, pulled the guts out, sent it back to America, put a little Made America on it, brought it back here, and we're shooting them at the Iranians.
You know,
it brings back a lot of memories because I used to work for the Department of Defense. hey, listen, you don't mess with us. Now, there's some talk about the Iranian Kurds. They have a war fighter. They got some boots on the ground. Now, I'm not so sure that the president want the Kurds to try to take over, but at least there's some resistance fighters starting to form on the ground to probably do the dirty work that Americans and the Israelis can't do on the ground. So hopefully they're going to, use those people, whether they want them to be in charge or not. Hopefully they'll use them. So I just wanted to show a little update, and then we're going to just go to, my favorite gal pal, Karoline Leavitt. And so that's what we're going to do next. She's got a short press conference, so I wanted you guys to see that. Right.
How are you? Good. How are you doing? Good, Monica. How are you? Good. You're getting close to your due date, and so am I. Hi, everybody. Good to see you out here. It's a busy day here, as you all know. The president will be meeting with defense contractors here at the White House in a few minutes with Secretary Hegseth. This is a pre-scheduled meeting, and the purpose of it is to talk about the president's aggressive and fierce support for rapid.
Hate's a strong word. Why do you hate this woman? She's articulate, on point, and she's a zealot for her commander-in-chief, right? I don't see how you could hate that.
Increasing the ability of U.S. manufacturers to produce American-made weapons, which we know are the best in the world. The president signed an executive order on this earlier this year. This is a long-held policy objective of this administration, and so he'll be speaking directly with these defense contractors. But of course, as the president has maintained, we have more than enough ammunition, weapons, stockpiles to achieve the objectives of Operation Epic Fury and beyond. After that, you'll be hearing from the president directly at 4 p.m. in the East Room at the College Sports Roundtable. We have coaches and we have scholars and we have athletes from around the country who will be joining. I know some lawmakers will be up there as well. President, again, a long-sought goal is to fix college sports, and so he'll be holding a roundtable to hear from all of these great people in this afternoon, and you'll see him up there as well. Why don't we take a few questions? Sure.
Thank you very much. The president said that we're not going through all of this so that we can end up with another Khamenei, and he also said that we can keep this up forever. Does that mean that this current mentality in Iran remains in place? You're going to have to keep doing the fight.
I won't get ahead of the president on broadcasting any timelines. What I will tell you is what President Trump has already laid out, which is that the achievable objectives of Operation Epic Fury, we expect to last about 4 to 6 weeks, and we are well on our way to achieving those objectives. Annihilating Iran's navy, we know that we've sunk more than 30 Iranian vessels and ships. Their navy has now been deemed combat ineffective, taking out the ballistic missile threat that Iran posed to the United States and our troops and bases in the region. We have done a tremendous job. The United States military has done a tremendous job at achieving that objective thus far. Just 6 days in, the retaliatory ballistic missile strikes from Iran are now down 90%. Of course, ensuring Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon as well, and significantly weakening their proxies in the region, which we know are responsible for the deaths of Americans. And we've seen Hezbollah and the Houthis hardly putting up a fight over the course of the last 6 days. Ultimately, the president has made it very clear he wants to take out the threat of Iran to the United States, and Operation Epic Fury is well on its way to doing that. As for the future of Iran, as the president has pointed to, of course it's in the best interest of the United States of America for Iran to no longer be led by a radical terrorist regime that chants death to America and is lying to the United States and the world about their secret ambitions to possess a nuclear bomb. President Trump does not want to see that. He wants to take an interest in pursuing who the next leader of the Iranian country is going to be, and that has yet to be seen, and the president is discussing it and deliberating it.
It's kind of funny. It's like Iran is like that little dog with a deadly bite that's been, nibbling at America for decades and their allies for decades. And we haven't had the leadership with enough gumption to say, you know what, I'm tired of these guys just biting the hell out of our ankles and trying to get stronger so they could actually attack the head. And so Trump said, you know what? You know what? This is my last 3 years. I'm going for broke. I have nothing else to run for. And if I can get Iran out the way for America's ambitions, the ones that will live way past his presidency and his life, then why not? Then why not? I think that's what we're living through. And so, all you people out there who hate Trump, get over that shit, because if we can get these guys out of the way and we can control the area, we can control the geopolitics in the area, keep China at bay a little longer. Hey, man, shit, I don't see why not. I think our biggest issues is what's coming from within. We got to keep those liberal, socialist idiots out of office. That's what we really need to do, because America's not going to die from bombs. It's from within that we're in trouble. So assholes like Mindani, the chick who just took over Virginia, that asshole mayor and governor from Baltimore and Maryland, those are the kind of people who are real traitors to this country, in my opinion.
Kristen.
What you just said on Fox that it doesn't really matter if Russia is giving Iran information about military assets. Why doesn't it matter if U.S. military is put in danger by Russia? And is that what the president believes as well?
What I meant, Kristen, and thank you for giving me a chance to make it very clear, is that it clearly is not making a difference with respect to the military operations in Iran, because we are completely decimating them. As I said earlier, we've taken out nearly 30 of their ships. Their Navy has been deemed combat ineffective, 90% reduction in ballistic missile retaliatory strikes against the United States and our Gulf Arab and partners in the region. So, of course, we are achieving the military objectives of this operation, and that is going to continue because the United States military is the best and most lethal fighting force in the world.
I think Karoline would beat the hell out of her if they got in the ring. Too bad she's pregnant. It would be a good MMA fight to see little stocky Karoline just like beat her ass.
Sure, go ahead, Benny.
Can you confirm if U.S. has taken full control over the airspace in Iran, like it's been reported these past couple days? Trump said within hours, within days. Can you confirm anything along those lines?
Yes, we are well on our way to doing so.
Karoline, has the president's faith in Russia to cut a peace deal with Ukraine been shaken by the knowledge that Russia is apparently supplying intelligence to Iran in this conflict?
I think the president would say that peace is still an achievable objective with respect to the Russia-Ukraine war. You saw Special Envoy Witkoff put out a tweet yesterday announcing a new prisoner exchange between both Russia and Ukraine. So it's something this administration still wants to see, and something I know the president will continue to work on.
Has he expressed any frustration to Putin about this intelligence?
I'll let the president speak on that directly. Mary.
What is the president?
Kiss that peace between Russia and Ukraine goodbye. It's not going to happen within Trump's presidency. Putin will never let that happen.
He calls for unconditional surrender. Is he saying that the regime has to fully relinquish control?
What the president means is that when he, as commander-in-chief of the U.S. Armed Forces, determines that Iran no longer poses a threat to the United States of America and the goals of Operation Epic Fury has been fully realized, then Iran will essentially be in a place of unconditional surrender. Whether they say it themselves or not, frankly, they don't have a lot of people to say that for them, because the United States and the state of Israel have completely wiped out more than 50 leaders of the former terrorist regime, including the supreme leader himself.
The answer is yes. Yeah, somebody's going to have to stand up with the white flag and say we had enough. That's as simple as that. So I don't know why she went on this long diatribe, but the answer is yes.
Thank you, Karoline. The president had a July 4th deadline for the One Big Beautiful Bill. Does he see a deadline for the Save America Act? As I know that's a priority of his to get passed.
As soon as possible, I know the president would say. This is a huge priority for the president. It remains one. I know he has added on some priorities to the Save America Act in recent days, namely no transgender transition surgeries for minors. We are not going to tolerate the mutilation of young children in this country, and no men in women's sports. And the president putting all of these priorities together, it speaks to just how common sense they are. These are all common sense priorities of this president that are backed by the vast majority of Americans, and he wants Republicans to act on them as quickly as possible.
I have to get rid of the filibuster in the Senate.
Ken Paxton laid out some conditions yesterday, saying that he would drop out of the race if Senate leadership on the Republican side agreed to, getting rid of the filibuster, for example. What are the president's thoughts on that?
I won't get ahead of the president on the Texas Senate race. I know it's of great interest to everyone. I'm no longer his political spokesperson. I'm a government spokesperson, so I'll let him speak on that directly.
You elaborated on the president's decision to tap Mark Wayne Mullen as the next DHS secretary. Can you talk a little bit about the rationale for the choice, why Mullen was the best candidate in his eyes, and also your message to congressional Democrats who continue to keep the DHS unfunded?
Yeah, well, Senator Mark Wayne Mullen has been a strong friend of the president and a big supporter of the president's immigration policies. Not only that, he's exceptionally talented, qualified, and I know well respected by his peers on Capitol Hill from both sides of the aisle. So we look forward to his expeditious confirmation, and I know the White House will be working with our counterparts in the Senate to make that happen as quickly as possible.
Caroline. Thank you, Caroline. The president has said he wants to be involved in Iran's future. He has also called the son of Supreme Leader Khamenei a lightweight, and he has also said that United States strikes have taken out the potential candidates. So does the United States now have any candidates, or looking at candidates who may lead Iran for the future?
I know there's a number of people that our intelligence agencies and the United States government are looking at, but I won't get any further on that. Sure.
Is the president satisfied with the pace of the investigation into whether the U.S. military did hit that Iranian school? Is the White House concerned that this was the United States?
Again, as I said at the briefing 2 days ago, I don't have any updates with respect to the investigation. I would expect those to come from the Pentagon. Sure, Haley.
That the U.S. was operating in the region of the school.
Again, I don't have any updates for you on the investigation. Those will come from the Pentagon directly. Haley.
Does the president believe Russia should face repercussion for providing intelligence to Iranians to work with the U.S. military?
Again, I'll let the president speak on that directly.
Do you have any comment,
Sure.
Caroline? Do you have any comment on the MAGA influencer divide on the Iran war? It seems like everyone axes, everybody's going at each other. Any message to both sides of the aisle?
I would just remind people, X is not real life. This president lives in the real world. And with respect to MAGA, President Trump is the leader of MAGA. He's the creator of the MAGA movement. And there is nothing more America first than taking out terrorists who have maimed and killed our own servicemen and women, who chant death to America and who pose a threat to the homeland. And so President Trump is a leader of the peace through strength foreign policy doctrine. He attempted peace through diplomacy exhaustively and extensively with the rogue Iranian regime. And so they have been struck with the strength and the sheer might and will of the United States Armed Forces, and President Trump has proven he's a man of his word. If you go back and look, not just over the past year as president, but in his first term and in many years in his private life as well, when he has said that the Iranian regime can never obtain a nuclear bomb, well, now he's finally acting on it, and he has the courage to do what so many presidents in the past did not. We'll see you guys later.
All right. So, yeah, that was a short one. I just wanted to get that in there. Everybody, happy Friday. Listen, just pray for the troops. God bless America. Our Pain, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Your favorite baby boomer, over and out.